All right, hello MUCT 212L class. This is your midweek lecture for week 5. All right, let's warm up on a couple of scales. Let's start on Mixolydian. Mixolydian mode, 2, 3, 4. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, te, do. Excuse me, Mixolydian. Sorry, my stand is falling down here and it distracted me. Mixolydian again. I was making it something else. Ready, go. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, te, do, te, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Let's go over to Dorian mode. 2, 3, 4. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, te, do, te, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. And round it out with some Phrygian. 2, 3, 4. Do, ra, mi, fa, sol, le, te, do, te, le, sol, fa, mi, ra, do. All right. So let's pull open the Berkowitz book and sing a couple of examples here from page 79. So get yourselves to page 79, please. Page 79. All right, let's do the one at the bottom of the page, number 327. See, we're in B minor here with a couple of chromatic syllables, and then we're going to spend a little bit of time in the dominant here. Okay, in the dominant. So we're in B minor, and we're going to spend a little time in F sharp minor. Okay, you'll see kind of where we are with that. But let's keep our solfege consistent to B minor, because we're going to go back. All right. Do, see, we outline a nice one chord in the first couple of measures. 6/8 time. Let's go nice and slow. 1 E and 2 and do, me, sol, 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 do, ti, do, sol. Sol, la, te, la, sol, fi, sol, la, re, me, re, do, te, la, sol, re, sol, fi, sol. Fa, sol, la, fa, re, me, fa, sol, la, sol, me, do, do, re, me, fa, sol, fa, me, re, do, re, me, fa, fi, sol, sol, do, ti, do, sol, fi, sol, le, re, me, fa, sol, me, do, le, ti, do, me, sol, do. All right. Sorry about those. I made a couple of solfege mistakes there in the beginning as we were making that change to the other key. Turn the page over to page 80. To page 80, and let's go spend some time in the major mode, D major here. Switch the clefs a little bit. All right, we're in D major, and our first syllable is mi. Okay, this, like the previous example, is very firmly in the key of D major, but in the middle lines there. If you look kind of where the forte starts, and especially in the third line, we're going to spend a little bit of time in the mediant here. Okay, in the mediant, which is F sharp minor. Okay, the mediant minor is not very distantly related, because D major has 2 sharps and the mediant minor has 3. So it's a little bit like going to the dominant or the subdominant. It's got a little bit of a different feel though, so watch yourselves. We're going to be kind of in the region of F sharp there for a little while. Okay, so watch the solfege. Alright, let's try this one. Nice and slow. Cut time, but a very slow cut. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and mi, re, do, re, mi, fa, sol, do, sol, fa, sol, re, sol, fi, sol, fa, mi, fa, sol, fa, mi, re, do, ti, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, fa, mi, fa, do, fa, mi, fa, la, sol, fi, sol, fi, sol, la, ti, sol, do. 2, 3, 4. La, si, la, si, la, ti, do, la, ti, mi, re, mi, ti, mi, re, mi, re, re, do, ti, la, si, la, si, la, ti, do, la, sol, la, ti, sol, fi, sol, la, fi, mi, re, mi, sol, fi, ti, di, re, mi, re, do, ti, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, fa, mi, fa, do, fa, mi, fa, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do, re, mi, fa, sol, do, sol, fa, sol, re, sol, fi, sol, sol, fa, mi, re, do. All right, a little bit of a longer one, but it's actually quite a neat little change between the standard key and the minor mediant there. So it can be a very a nice place to kind of pivot between the two chords. All right, let's do a little kazez. A little bit of kazez, and let's do, if I can find my spot here. Oh, here we are. I had it upside down, excuse me. Let's go to kazez page 83. Page 83. All right, we're in compound meter where the dotted half note is still receiving the beat. So let's start from page 83 at number 165. Okay, it's just making sure that you are subdividing. So 6/4 with the dotted half note receiving the beat. This will be done in 2. So I'll give you 2 subdivided measures, and we're in 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and T T T T T T T T T T T T T T T T T T T. Easy enough. Let's go on to 166, which has a quarter note anacrusis in it. Okay, and we're subdividing at the level of the double subdivision here with the 8th notes, so the T's and tickies. Let's work on this one. I'll give you just 1, 9, 4, or 1 bar in 3 here, because it's 1 and a 2 and a 3 and come in on the of 3 and write in on it. 1 and 2 and 3. T T T T T T T T T T T T T T ticky T T T T ticky T ticky T T T T T T T T T T T T T ticky 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 T. Off. All right, turn the page to page 84. And let's just do a couple more here. Let's do 167, 6/4 time, another little anacrusis. There's a cool little technique on page 84 on number 167 of kind of a cool phasing of the beat. If you look in the second line, second to the last measure, second beat. Second line, second to last measure, second beat. You'll notice that there's 2/8 and then 2/4. In the next measure, there are another 2/8 and 2/4, but they are shifted over by 1/4. And if you look at the first measure of the third line, 2/8, 2/4 shifted over once more. It's kind of a little bit of what we might call phasing. Okay, so you're changing it, you're phasing it, so it's the same rhythmic figure, but you're putting it on a different beat. So each time it's going to have a slightly different groove. It's a neat effect, so let's check it out. I'll give you 2 measures in 6/4 subdivided. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. T T T T ticky T T T T T T T T ticky T T T T T T T T T T T ticky T T ticky T T ticky T T T T T T T T T ticky T T T. All right. And 168, just the preparatory drill, and Friday's class will continue on with stuff in there. We'll try it. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and T T T T T T T T T T T T Ki tiki T Ki tiki T. Okay, so that just gets you into the groove there. All right. Let's go on to some. Harmonic dictation again. Okay, again we're continuing with our theme this quarter of being able to hear the voices, especially the inner voices, whenever we can. Okay, so we will start, as always, 1 chord in my favorite voicing position in C major. This time the voices will continue fairly smoothly through the different parts. We've stuck with mostly major mode and diatonic chords up until now. This time I'm going to throw in a secondary dominant. It's not going to be crazy, it's not going to be, you know, big leaps or a really weird one. It'll be a very common secondary dominant that you see quite a bit. But see if you can hear that. Know that there will be a secondary dominant in this example. So when you hear more of a chromatic chord, you'll know that's probably the one. There are a total of 7 chords. A total of 7 chords in this example. And I will begin now. Okay, I'm going to play them, again, equal voices. Remember the principles of listening that we've talked to you about. You know, choose one of the voices, hum it maybe a little bit in your mind, see if you can focus in on that particular frequency range, and then follow it through. Okay? I'll play it twice, just to make sure we get a good one in here. Alright, here we go. Ready, and. Okay, all the chords are diatonic except for the one chromatic one. Listen one more time. Ready, and. Alright, and bring this example, and I also perceive that the possibility exists that you may not all have your books, or may not have all parts of all your books. So what I'm going to do with this one, I'm going to let you guys know via email, but I just thought of it now. I'm going to make copies of the Berkowitz and the Kazez that we did, and I'm going to put them up at the front desk for you guys to come and pick up. But regarding the example here of the harmonic dictation, bring that to Friday's class. We'll check it out, maybe listen to it again and see if we can continue on with our skill of hearing those inner voices. Okay, so we'll see you guys Friday of week 5, and during class we'll talk about our final projects and final project presentations that we talked about at the beginning of the quarter, because next week, week 6, we'll present them and we'll start working on them. Okay, we'll see you guys then.